how to capitalize on all these people moving here from out of state.
Mm-hmm.
You know, has anybody spent intentional marketing
Dollars.
dollars, Facebook, LinkedIn ads? I don't know. I'm just thinking outside the box.
Yeah, this is a great conversation. How, because I don't think there's anybody directly doing it outside of just spending money on Zillow. Because everybody, so I'm sorry guys, I got interrupted.
Yeah, go for it.
So you were saying, what were you saying though?
Well, we just started doing it again. I don't know, since no one's advertised on Facebook, they just rolled out that iOS 14 update, which is wreaked havoc over the Facebook ads. So we just barely got our setup approved to be able to launch out those ads. So we have been running them now for like 2 weeks, but we used to do it quite a bit. So we advertised all the neighboring states when we have the listing. And we just put it out there, and then we're just looking for people looking to move in. He was asking me if I'm getting like leads from it or whatever, but mostly it's for your customer. It's more about showing them that you're putting out their property out to a demographic that you would have never found if you were advertising here. And that in and of itself is satisfying your customer in the moment. You can do that for $5 a day, $10 a day, whatever you want to run your ads for. Depends on what your ad spend, you know, how you want to do that, but
Yeah.
we've done it a lot.
Because it's a branding thing where you're trying to capture it's there. You could do a call to action, but are you doing it for that? Not really.
No.
Right?
If you're gonna do that, you just target seller leads, you be targeting buyers or something, you know, a listing that you have, and then people, hey, I'm thinking about making a move. Now that's turned into a buyer lead. But
So one of the things that I can't help but think about is what is the process from moving from California to Utah? What do I even do? Am I looking for St. George, or do I already know I'm going to St. George? And then what time do I jump into the looking for a realtor thing? When do I do it?
immediately.
So like while I'm there,
Yep.
right? You start looking for a realtor, you think that's what happens?
Yeah, I just put one under contract yesterday. It came from California,
Okay.
coming here, and that's exactly what they did.
How'd you get the lead?
I got it off of referral here in town, but it's someone that I don't know, you know, just random. So they came into here. What was great about it was I found an agent in my group that was working in Fremont, California. I met up with her. She introduced me to a title person there. So now I have a 1.5 listing in California that will be coming on, and I just put it under contract on a purchase here.
I don't know if you heard that, but she took a listing in California too, off of a referral
Of a referral.
from a real estate agent.
Right.
Because how great is it to be like, hey, I'm looking for a good real estate agent. I'll just go to the Keller Williams office in insert name of city, and there's a Keller Williams agent there.
Yep.
And you get to vet them. You get to be like, I wonder which ones are good and which ones aren't good. And if they have their profile set up, you're like, oh, they might be good. If they don't have a profile set up, you're getting a crapshoot. So you're probably gonna want to call them, right? So that referral system, and that was awesome, because I didn't realize it was a referral. I was honestly guessing it was gonna be like pay-per-click lead or something.
No.
Referral, nailed it.
Yeah, so it works, but more importantly, you're doing the ads for brand recognition, and
If you could flip it over though and make it a money generator on top of it, who would we actually be marketing to? The realtors. We should target the realtors, right? So how can I market my listing in that area, kill the client of the moment and let them know that you're showing them value, right? By reaching a demographic, because they're still going to reach a demographic that they've never reached before, but potentially it's that agent that knows somebody that's moving, right? And so tapping into those good referral networks are really, they're gangbusters. They blow your business up on a high level because they're networkers. There's a book called Tipping Point. I highly recommend it. Malcolm Gladwell's a genius. I read everything that he's ever written. And the Tipping Point talks about finding people that are connectors, right? We need to find people that are connectors. Some of us are just not connectors, right? We don't. Karen, she's a connector, right? She's rode a lot of that ability out of just natural. That's just who you are, right? Good spot.
Good spot. Are you talking to me, Karen? This Karen?
That's the Karen. I don't know another one, and I'm glad.
I'm thinking I need more connections. More connections. Okay, I'll take it. Thank you.
She's all about it, right? And those are the best ones. Those are the ones you're trying to tap into, because then they tell somebody, because it came from that source, Read Tipping Point if you're looking for it, and then look for those people in your life. Look for those realtors, because if you catch the right one, if you do build the right relationship with the right realtor, that does make you turn into a networker, right? A connector. And a lot of times it'll be an agent that is probably not doing that much business, right? They're a connector and they might not have mastered doing it to their advantage to make more money, but they still know people that are moving here and they can compound that.
Raving Fans, that's another book.
Raving Fans is another book that does that. Lots of the same studies, right? And so look for those people. They're out there. They're smaller percentage than just your average everyday person that doesn't call people when they just pop in their mind, right? It's just not who I necessarily am. I have probably a better capacity than some, but I'm definitely not a connector. I wouldn't classify myself as that. So how do I work around that? I got to go find the ones that are so I can multiply my business, right? So what else? Where else were we going with that? Sorry, we kind of spun.
No, that's what it's about.
What do you think about that adds to the agents?
I love it. I mean, especially if you have a lot of real estate to sell.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's two things. You can run ads to agents for referrals.
Mm-hmm.
You could also run ads to agents if you had a project for a single listing, clearly, you know, which is what she's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the things that we get a little sideways about in real estate, which, you know, I know everybody groaned when I shared the reality of what might happen with buyer agent commissions. Okay? But you have to realize that the average consumer is looking at what we're getting paid and they're like, what kind of racket is this? And where I'm going with this right now is we go to put a home on the market, we spend $150 on photography, and we're like, well, I marketed the home.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Think about it. Like the stone silence probably tells me a lot of how close I am. We actually do that. We're like, no, but my sign cost me $80. You know, the sign that we use 10 times or on 30. It's odd that we have this perspective in our business that we can run like 99% returns on our investment and get away with it. And I think we're in an era where that's not going to fly a lot longer.
Well, and I don't know if it's necessarily that they don't know. It's just they're just haven't got to that point yet, right? Because some people can run businesses and not spend a whole lot of money, but still provide a lot of value to their
Yeah.
client, right?
Yeah, well, and I also think that some of the things that they just spent $150 hasn't taken enough, like what you're saying. They haven't done enough business yet because you don't understand that your time is worth something.
Yes.
Figure out what you make per hour. And then
Huge.
if someone's wasting your time for 15 minutes, you're annoying.
Yeah.
Because like, I gotta get back to work. So there's that, not only that, the time that you spend, putting it into the systems, and if you aren't using a TC, which you should be, if you aren't using a TC, the time that you're spending once you put the property, under contract or whatever, like there's time in there. So for someone to think, and that's our problem. That goes back, that's our problem, because our clients have the perception that we make $150 an hour, or $150 is all it costs us. That's our fault for not doing a good job and providing them, showing them what it is that we actually do for them.
Mhm.
So that's the problem.
Mhm.
So if you're getting pushback, when you mentioned that comment, to me, I just think that's fine. I'll just collect the commission for the buy side and we'll pay the buyer agent. It's no big thing to me.
Yeah.
But that's just because someone hasn't done the homework to figure out how much it actually costs them to take a listing.
Mhm.
So, and they aren't delivering the presentation in a way that adds value so that they want to hire you as their real estate agent. And that's what we call a lot of that problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
perception.
I think those are great comments. And what I would add to it, to circle us all the way back, is that it's okay to actually spend some money.
100%.
Mhm.
You have to.
I think so
Well,
too.
I've also learned working with buyers and sellers that, yes, they may look at your commission and say, this is a lot, but a lot of times they don't know what I'm doing behind the scenes. So I've tried to communicate to them more of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So that they actually know that I'm not just putting it on the market and sitting there and waiting. I'm making phone calls, I'm getting the HOA stuff, I'm working, telling them and showing them what you're doing helps resolve that issue with commission.
Walk them through the process, right?
We do a lot and we don't tell them what we're doing, so they don't see it and they don't think you're doing anything.
Okay, so we have, and I appreciate that because that's totally true. We have 3 minutes, okay? I have ish 1, 2, 3, 4 newer-ish agents, okay? If you're a top producer, what's some advice that you would give Mark, Cherie? You've been here, you're getting there, you don't need a whole lot, but if you got something for Cherie, what would you guys give? Leslie,
I'm always ready to
Arnold?
learn.
Yeah, she's always ready to learn, but like, I just didn't want her to feel like, oh yeah, she's brand new. I get it. She's not, it's not her first time around the block. What was your advice that you'd give them?
If I qualify, my one tip is, if the moment my business changed was when I focused on one deal a week. That's just me.
One deal a week.
I went from 17, 18 deals a year to 50, 45, 50. One deal a week. That's it. You focus on that. Some days you're gonna get 2 or 3, and that's fantastic. But focus is on one.
When you say focus, do you mean, set the system up so that when you do take one a week, you're already ready? Or do you just say, my mindset is, I'm gonna go get a deal and I'm gonna work till I get the deal?
The system is your mind. And
Mhm.
you start on Sunday. Who can I work with this week that's gonna write a contract, buy, sell, agency rep?
Think, right? You're like, ooh.
Who can I put under contract this week?
And if you don't know
Brian
somebody,
Burnett, his mindset, who can I put under contract today? I know, because I started with them.
That's it.
That's what we were coached to do. Who can I put under contract today? He's a machine.
he is a machine.
First time.
If you ever just talk to him, you call him, he's nice enough. Tell him you'll take him to lunch. I bet you he'll squeeze in time. It might be 2 weeks from now, but I'm sure he'll do it. It's a good dude.
We'll probably never go to lunch. You can get in his backseat, ride with his driver.
If you pay for his lunch, I bet you he'll go.
Sure.
I bet you'll go. He probably doesn't get it very often. Nobody's willing to do it. I bet you would. You don't think so? Who wants to try it? Mark, Arnold, who do you want to get? Do you think you can get lunch with Brian Burnett? Tell him all, find out all the secrets?
I'll call him as soon as we're done with this meeting. And I'll
Yeah,
call him.
I want a new agent. I want to see if a new agent could do it. That's my advice. My advice,
I think he
Go pick
has
his
the
brain.
ability as to hit, so he has to make so many contacts per day.
mhm.
He comes into the office and he won't leave till he makes a certain number of contacts.
Who in this office would you pick? You want to pick someone's brain? Who would you pick in our office? Brian Burnett, he's C21. I want him to lose,
For
truthfully.
our office?
Yeah.
Probably Cade or
Cade, Joe Langston, Joe Wright.
Joe Langston.
Joe Wright's good too, Joe Langston. Okay, Joe Langston, write his name down, Arnold.
Cade-
Joe Langston
Cade more because
or
of the
Cade Entz.
construction side of it.
Write it down. Kate Entz, Joe Langston. Go interview them. Huh?
It's for Mark too.
That's Mark too. He should be listening. Okay,
Hey, Robert, the insight I would give
who else?
is to build is to start building your database, today, wherever you're at.
Database.
We
Build
have we have a massive database business, my team. And one of the misperceptions that people have is they think that we do all this production off of radio ads. Like, I honestly think, nice shades, I honestly think you'd be astonished if you saw how many people just come in the door from 16 years of database.
Mhm.
It's pretty baffling.
It's the
Like,
snowball
quite a
effect.
bit of
Yes.
business.
It's a snowball effect, right? It's why agents, when they get to 2 years, you get to 2 years, start tipping over into that 3rd year, people start calling. You're like, wait, why is everybody all of a sudden calling me? That's milestone 1. That's mile marker 1, right? There's a whole huge world of real estate above mile marker 1. And a lot of agents, it takes 2 years to get there, right? Where all of a sudden the phone starts ringing. Now I don't know how to organize my time around the phone ringing all of the time, right? So then we have to start making priorities. Back to the beginning. What else? One other thing. I agree.
I just
Database.
say lead gen every day.
Lead
Even
gen,
though-
101, time's up.
Even though you may not get business that day from your lead generation session, it's in the future. So at least do leave some lead gen every single day because that builds and builds.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how good are you doing it every day? On a scale of 1 to 10. Can't pick 7.
I do lead gen every day.
I watch
10,
her.
10,
I
10.
do every day.
Hell yeah. I know she does. I know she does too.
I do lead gen every day. And it may not, I may not get anything today.
Yeah.
But in 3 months, they may call me back or I stay in touch with them and then they're ready.
Yep.
Lead gen every day.
Lead gen every day. Okay, guys, that's a wrap. I gotta end the recording. I will talk to you all later. See ya.
Just to